Hey everyone, it's Orpheus here, and today is my 10,000 subs special. Thank you all so much for helping me get to this point, and I'm going to be playing a game in the background which I've played earlier, and then I'm going to be doing a Q&A during that, so I'm not live playing it, but I wanted to still give you all a game kind of in the background. It has Elnuk as well as Bubble Bear. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering your questions. First one is, can you tell me your name? Congrats on 10k. My name is Brianna. You all probably have only heard Silverfuse, but yes, my real name is Brianna. Why did you decide to create a channel and play LOR? What other games do you play? Originally, I started streaming Tessel, or actually, even before that, I started streaming Overwatch and PUBG in 2017, late 2017, and then later started playing a game called The Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a card game, and then I made YouTube about a year after that. It just was something that I enjoyed. I really wanted to learn how to video edit. It just sounded really cool, and so I taught myself using YouTube. And that's where I then became interested in LOR, and that's how I'm here now. And other games that I play, I've been playing a lot of Spellbreak recently. I've played League of Legends since 2012. I don't play it as frequently now, but I used to play it a lot in 2012 through like 2016, I would say I played it the most. I haven't played it as much in the recent years. I guess I played a decent amount in 2017 still. I play pretty much other random games that I hope to share on the channel in the future, just because there are a lot of single player games that I enjoy playing. Hey Silver, congratulations on the 10k, you really deserve it. I'm a big fan from Chile, and I always wanted to ask you if you can tell us a story of you going to university at 16. Hope you can answer, and I wish you all the luck in the world. So, I know Nakano has definitely been on my Twitch stream. I recognize the name for sure, and in my Twitch panels I have one of my fun facts is that I went to college at 16, which is indeed a truth. I'm not lying or making up things. I could make a whole video on going to college at 16, so if you want that, let me know. But generally what happened was there is this program in my state made for looking for students that were like considered gifted to the math and sciences, you know, certain test scores and GPA and essays and stuff like that, and I was one of the 30 students from Kansas selected to be part of this, and I ended up accepting, and I went to college. I moved away from my parents, and I moved into a dorm room at 16 with the other 16-year-olds who had been picked, and I took college level classes. I took physics, chemistry, well, calc 1, 2, 3, like I did a lot of math and science, as you might imagine. I did graduate level research. I did a research project on sea surface anomalies and shark attacks in northwestern Australia, and then I also did another one too my senior year of high school, but my sophomore year of college. It's pretty interesting going to school early. It made me mature and grow up quite a bit faster. I learned a lot about myself, which was pretty neat. It also did cause some issues, I would say, too, in the fact that it's just a lot of pressure to put on a 16-year-old of moving away from home and then learning things at such a high level. Like I said, I could make a huge video on this. If people were interested in that, let me know. But for now, I'm gonna move on, and I could spend 30 minutes talking about the subject. Question. Are you planning on making YouTube your job, or are you going to study later? Well, as I already answered, I did do my studies. I got a degree in molecular bioscience, which is biology, more focused on the molecular level, so like genetics, microbiology. I love both of those. Those are two of my passions, I would say. I enjoyed learning about biology a lot. But when I ended up working in a lab, and I didn't really like it that much. It just was not what I expected. Of course, you know, it's a lot of grunt work and stuff like that. You can't really do the fun research stuff without getting like a PhD or a master's. And I just wasn't for sure if that's where I wanted to go or not. That's what I originally planned to do, is to get a PhD, but now it's just the job security isn't there, and I'm not sure if it's going to be worth going to school for 5 to 7 years to get a PhD, and then I might not be able to get the job that I want, and that's a hard thing to think about, I feel like. Instead, I also have this big love and passion for teaching. I've been teaching for the last 2 years, so I've been a para, and I've also been a kindergarten through 5th grade computer teacher, and that's what I was actually doing before the pandemic hit. So we went to spring break in March, and then not coming back, which is very weird to think about. And because of the pandemic, the job that I had is still technically there, but it doesn't seem very safe because it was going to have me going to all these different classrooms, and I felt like I would just be spreading illness to everyone, or myself and my family too, so it wasn't the best idea, I didn't feel like. So I do love teaching, but I don't necessarily see it as being my long-term career. I don't really know for sure what I want to be my long-term career, but for now, I really would like to make YouTube and streaming work because I get to teach through YouTube. I get to teach about the game or about my thoughts about the game, and that's where a lot of my background on being able to speak comes from, is from teaching. So when I'm talking about something that I'm thinking about during a game is because I used to be a teacher, and I would really just love to make YouTube work. I feel pretty close to it overall. I'm not quite there, but that is my dream job. That's really what I want. I want to be able to share experiences with you all, and also just, I love creating. I love creating things. It is the best thing ever. So for now, I'm kind of out of a job during the pandemic just because I don't feel safe. And while doing so, I'm working on making this my career instead. That's absolutely my goal, and one that I'm going to strive to hit. And of course, your support means all the world to me on that. So yes, I'll be very open about that, is that I love doing this, but I would also like to make it my career as well. Is your family chill about what you do on YouTube and the time you dedicate to it? Yes, they are all very happy and aware of it. My family supports me greatly. Actually, when I hit 2,000 subs, my mom was one of the first people that I messaged, and she was very excited for me. My dad's actually bought me one of the hard drives that I use to store all my videos on, and he's always been very supportive. It's interesting to me because more or less, my parents wanted me to get my degree, and then after that, as long as I'm self-sustaining, they're pretty happy with what I do in that regards. So I got my degree, and now I'm working on building a business, and it's doing pretty okay right now. Of course, it's not enough to completely sustain myself, but it's getting closer to that point, and they're happy with me and they're proud of me because they know that I work really hard on this. I'm not just slacking and not doing what I need to do. I make sure to get my stuff done, and it means they know how important it is to me. So I'm very lucky to have such a supportive parents. I know a lot of people that do YouTube and stuff, their parents are like, you're wasting your time, you should be going doing this, doing that. And especially with me, when I, like, 2 years ago, I was talking about getting a PhD, and now I'm talking about being a full-time YouTuber. So I can understand if they were to be concerned, but thankfully they've been nothing but supportive. Carlos says, congrats, Silver. I really love your videos. My questions are, what do you do for a living? What are your passions? We kind of filled that in already, where I used to be a teacher, and now I'm working on making YouTube my full-time career. And passions are biology and teaching. I love both of them. Thought about being a biology teacher for the longest time, but the reason that I decided not to is it's just too much of the same stuff. Don't get to create, and I love being able to create like I can on YouTube. Now for some LOR questions, and I'll go back to some personal questions after that. Marco asks, what's your favorite champion in now that Targon is out? My favorite champion in Targon is Trundle, but my favorite champion overall is Swain. Next question is, congrats, Silver. May I ask for your top 3 favorite champions in Legends of Runeterra, and are you planning to play League of Legends? We all know that I played League of Legends and that I plan to make videos on it in the future. My favorite cards, though, in Legends of Runeterra is probably Infinite Mind Splitter, Swain, and Twisted Fate. And then Andy asks, favorite champion so far? Pick 3 core, 2 Rising Tides, and 1 Call of the Mountain. For the core, Ashe, Vlad, and Callista. For the Rising Tides, TF and Swain, no surprise there. And then Call of the Mountain, Trundle, as I said earlier. Next question, what's the best piece of advice you can give in regards to playing Legends of Runeterra competitively? I would say the best thing to do is to learn from players that are better than you, because there's pretty much always someone better than you. I learn from people all the time. And also get your hand on as many tournaments as possible. Just enter them, even if you don't expect to win. Just play. You get so much great experience from playing in tournaments, and it really can't be done in any other way. Just playing on ladder isn't the same as playing in a tournament. It's just a different setting and different ways that the decks are set up. So the best thing I would say to do is to just practice and play in tournaments. That's learn. Next question. Do you intend to join any possible future LR championship? Brazilian fan. I am not so much on the competitive side of the game right now. I enjoy it, and I can play pretty alright, but I prefer to cast. I love casting. I used to cast the Elder Scrolls Legends, and I absolutely love and adore casting. My dream is to cast Riot events for Legends of Runeterra. That is, oh, that's such an amazing dream, and it's pretty, it makes me happy thinking about it. So that's my big goal for Legends of Runeterra, I would say, is to be able to cast some of their official events. Now back to some personal questions. Mr. Freeze had quite a few questions, and I will be answering them all, because why not? Says, congrats. 1, I've been curious what video editing software do I use? Vegas Pro 14. 2, what's the best, or 2, what are the best decks that aren't meta to go to climb with, in your opinion? Ooh, that aren't meta. Probably Taskmaster decks with, like, GP or something. It's kind of hard to say. I would probably say Taskmaster decks, though. Who's hotter, Darius or Garen? Probably Darius. I don't really know for sure. I don't know. Darius's face, it's kind of weird though, but Garen kind of has a baby face. I don't really know. Maybe I'd have to look at them again. Where did Silverfuse originate? Alright, this is a question I have a few times. I made this up when I was 16 in college for when I was thinking of a League of Legends name, because that's when I started League of Legends. Silver was the color of a Pinewood Derby card that I had win a race in like 5th or 6th grade, and silver's just a cool color, sheen, whatever you want to call it. So it's not used all that often, or kind of is. I see it every once in a while. And then Fuse, I played on a softball team with the name of Fusion, so I shortened it down to Fuse, so that's how I got Silver Fuse. It was going to be Silver Fusion, but that was just a bit too long, and it didn't feel, I don't know, it just felt a little bit too try-hardy, I don't know, so I made it Silver Fuse instead. That's how I got my name. What are the worst cards to play against in your opinion? Radiant Guardian, Hush, Equinox, Relentless Pursuit. There's some others, but those are a few of them, I would say. And then I'm done. Congrats on 10K and have a nice day. Thank you so much. Tyler asks, as someone who really enjoys your content, what's something we can do to support you in your channel or streams? Obviously watching them, that's the biggest one. Sharing them with your friends, tweeting, liking is a really big one. Liking and sharing are actually huge. Like, you don't even have to spend money. It's just liking and sharing, because it just gets more eyes on the content. If you do want to do monetary support, you can sub to me on Twitch, and you can do that free with Twitch Prime. And then I'm thinking about opening a Patreon as well as like a YouTube join. I could have done this a while ago, but I don't know, it just didn't feel at the right time. But I've been getting more and more people asking this question of how I can support you this way. So I feel like it's around the time where I feel comfortable making a Patreon or something like that. And I'll probably do that now. So that might be a link in the description. I'll let you know in the edit if I'm doing it for sure. But it will be in the near future, and I'll probably have a little announcement video for that. And Zach says, where can we see more Jackson Ari? I don't really post them much on Twitter. Maybe I should. I think I'll definitely post some on Patreon. I'll post them on Twitter and maybe Instagram a little bit here and there, but I don't want to just like fill my feed with cats as much as some of you would like that. Other people wouldn't. So that's probably where you can see them, is mostly Patreon, maybe on my other socials as well. William says, for Q&A, who's your partner? Give us a cameo, please. So here he is. This is Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Alright, so there you go. Pineapple on pizza. For me personally, no, because I don't like fruit. For others, go ahead. I really don't care what you do. Favorite pastry is definitely cream cheese Danish. That's one that I almost never have, but it's been my favorite for sure. And Kid says, congratulations, Silver. Are you going to show friendly tournament videos with other streamers? Love the idea of it. I don't have any plans of it at the time, but in the future, yeah, why not? James Ashley says, have you seen any champions from League that aren't an LOR? If you have, what champions would you like to see in the upcoming expansion? I kind of know the leaks just from Reddit, so spoiler alert if you don't know them. But Shyvana and Victor are what I'm most excited for, which will be sometime this year. I'm not sure if it'll be in the October or the December release, but Shyvana for Dragons, and then Victor just because he's always been an underappreciated champ in League of Legends, and he's just pretty cool. What are your thoughts on LOR in the future in my country, Southeast Asia. It's kind of dead. MOBA dominates. I would say that generally MOBA and FPS games are going to do better than card games just because a lot of people who are gamers like to have just, you know, the action going and stuff like that. I will say that card games do very well on tablets and mobile though, which is also pretty popular in Southeast Asia. And it doesn't need to be the most popular thing to be, you know, to be successful. There's a big enough group of people who are interested in playing card games where it still does well. It might not be as big as something like Fortnite or Overwatch or League of Legends, but it still has a place and it still has an audience to reach. Now back to some more personal questions. What was the game you played that got you into card games? Funny enough, it was actually League of Legends to an extent, because I saw League of Legends streamers playing Hearthstone, and that's how I got into Hearthstone. I played it for almost 3 years, not quite, and then got interested in the Elder Scrolls Legends, and then that led me to Legends of Runeterra. And which someone also asked, do you play any real-life card games? No, I never have. I wish I would have gone into Magic, but it's pretty expensive. It would have been cool to have that experience, but now that I already know about Magic, I'm not really interested in playing it in person as much. I'm just kind of fine with digital games because they're cheaper. Congratulations, you were the first LOR player I watched who motivated me to play the game as well. What other card games do you play and recommend? I used to play the Elder Scrolls Legends all the time. It's not being continued anymore, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I do think it's one of the best designed games. I loved playing that game. I miss it a lot still. Hearthstone's just expensive, even though I didn't mind Hearthstone despite the RNG. Mythgard is pretty cool. It has, aesthetically it's not the most pleasing, but the mechanics of it are very nice. And really those are the only games, card games I've really played, so I can't really give any other recommendations, unfortunately. Not Even Real says, if you were a card in LOR, what do you think your effect and stats would be? Man, I could go for something really cheesy here. But this is a hard question. Can I just say something like, I'd be like a 0 mana, like 100, have fun, or something lame like that? I just don't know. I would have to think about that one more. But yeah, I really like that question though. Perry Remix says, congrats, your content is amazing, you're amazing. Are you going to try to bring us some League of Legends videos? Yes. We need you to play League. We love some of the, you will love some of the champions. Yeah, I've played, as I said earlier, played League since Season 2, and I do love some of the champions. Lux, Orianna, Ahri are some of my favorite champions, especially Lux and Ori, and then I like Jinx a lot too in League of Legends. Super Teacher Play says, congrats views. Are there any series you're watching at the moment? I was watching Glee for a little bit. I didn't finish it, but I was watching Glee for a little bit. Generally, I don't watch TV series, so it's kind of weird, but I just wanted something to watch while I played ladder every once in a while. I generally will watch, like, YouTube of, like, random videos. I don't really watch LOR videos on YouTube. I would have to even look at my history. It's just random YouTube videos sometimes, but generally I also watch Twitch too. I watch some things here and there, but I don't really watch Netflix and stuff that often. If I do on Hulu, I'll watch HGTV. I like HGTV. Any plans on the future? This is like a very broad question. As far as the channel, playing LOR, playing a variety of games, and just keep on working on growing this channel and building this lovely community that we have. And I guess that's all I can say for now. So thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and see you later. Bye!